Them.
Salute to our Blorange Cheers fam. I got the one and only Chief Rocker in Knicks universe, Uncle Freezy.
Bim, what's good? Y'all thought I was Culley. I ain't Culley.
Nah, but Kelly, shout out to Kelly though. He'll be popping up soon though. He kept Knicks after party live last week. Solo Dolo. Rocking, what I'm saying? Rocking doing his thing though, while his boy, me, Subliminal 2 and 9, was out on vacation in Cancun, living a vida loca. Yeah, good. I just couldn't do it, y'all. I just had to have a little bit of a time off, just let my hair down and enjoy a little vacation. But I'm back now. We back. We're going to have a good old time. We got the draft coming up pretty soon. We got the lottery, which is May 17th. What we going to do? Are we going up the board? We going down the board? We getting rid of the pick? Like, what's happening? I don't even know. Like, that's what makes me so nervous. It's like more nervous than excitement because I just don't know what's going to happen. What I do know is that there's some nice draft picks prospects around that area between that 11 and 14 because it said that we don't have any odds, 0 odds from 5 to 10, 0% chance of us getting those draft picks.
Right.
We can bump in through 1 through 4, but with the NBA, they don't like to give us that kind of
like Adam Silver don't like us. Bro.
Yeah, they don't like to give us that kind of luck. So I'm not going to get my hopes up too high, but I've been doing a little bit of my research. We talked about it in the past on different prospects. And who you like around that area?
Man, listen, I like a lot of people, bro. I think the draft is a little bit deeper than what people think. Now, deep with superstars, maybe not, but deep with quality role players, definitely. I would love for us, listen, at 11, if we could pull off a Jalen Duren, a Tari Eason, even the super athlete from Baylor. What's the super athlete name?
Kendall Brown.
Yeah.
So I actually like his running mate, Jeremy Sochan.
I like both of them.
Now, the reason why I like Jeremy Sochan and the reason why I feel like the Knicks would go after him because he's a Tibbs guy. Just the way he has that grit and hustle on the defensive end and can guard 2 through 4, maybe, a 1 or 5, depending on, who he's matched up against. Maybe that's kind of pushing it, but definitely 2 through 4, he could guard. He's one of those guys that will dive for the loose rock. He's one of those gritty guys, high IQ on the defensive end. And knowing that Tibbs doesn't like to play, I'm not going to say play. Let me choose my words. Knowing that Tibbs doesn't start rookies, that he has to earn his way. To earn your way with Tibbs is by defense, and he is going to be a defensive specialist, I feel. Someone that you could throw in on spot minutes. He has the length to go up against those wings, those big wings, those Kevin Durant's, those guys that just are just magicians with the ball. He has great footwork. So to me, I feel like he's a safe pick, and that's what the Knicks do is go after safe picks,
Right.
So
right. Yeah, man. Especially so how do you say his name? Socham?
No, I know I hear Sochan, but I pronounce it Sochan.
Sochan, okay. Either way, that kid, Jeremy S, whatever is it. Man, listen. What happens is when you find guys like this, when you hit on them, they kind of give you the Robert Covington vibes at first, but if you unlock some offense, all of a sudden you're pushing towards. If you unlock a lot of offense, now you're pushing towards Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying now. But the only thing is how old is he? Is he
He's like 18. He's 18.
Oh God. Oh. Yeah,
he may be like the youngest in the draft, I believe.
Yeah.
At 6'9", with that wingspan, then switchable. switchable, high IQ. Just that's how you're gonna get on the floor. You know, we're not expecting him to start. We're not expecting him to be in the second unit, but all he needs is that small chance to get out there, and he can put the ball on the deck and get to the cup, back you up in the post. Right. But he's just not good at shooting threes. He's just not yet.
Not yet at his age. Not
yet. But if you give him the ball, he'll give you a head fake and he'll take you to the cup. You know, like he knows how to get to the.
This is the kid that's Obi Toppin size, right?
He's 6'9" more. He's more filled out than Obi. You know, I would say Kendall Brown is more of an Obi prototype as far as athleticism and rim running and. You know, I'm leaking out, and I would think that Kendall Brown would be a duplicate of what Obi brings, and this kid brings more hustle, more desire. He's New York, you know what I'm saying? He's grit, all those types of things. I feel, especially when we don't know what we're gonna do with Randall, you know?
Right. Wow, that kid is 230. Okay.
Oh, Kendall Brown?
No. Kendall Brown's not 230. Kendall Brown should be more like, what, 200, 205, something like that?
Yeah.
Salute, by the way, salute. Take my do-rag off.
Oh, boy, there he is.
Gotta get wild for y'all real quick.
Laying it down like a do-rag and some grease. Okay. Yeah. I see you.
Need to air out on here, man. I'm late. I'm sorry for being late, man. My laptop, and I lost track of time, yo. Time went by so fast. I had a long day today. I'm sorry.
Nah, man, ain't nothing to
my
it.
Bad. Pleasure to rock on with my guys, though, man. Freezy never join us.
Yeah, man. I'm here now, though, man, and I'm enjoying.
It's like we the band, so like band Freezy, singer, and we just the band. And
now, man, I've been looking forward to this day for like a month. I knew I was gonna have this day off, and so I was looking forward to it, man. I actually went in and scheduled this day on the scheduling site way in advance because I knew I would be able to jump on with y'all because I've been wanting to jump on because Culley be saying some greasy stuff about Tibbs, bro. Yo, if Tibbs ever see Culley in the street, bro, I swear we're gonna have to break them up, man.
It's gonna be a lot of screaming. Screaming in the street, man.
Yeah, man.
We was talking about the youngins coming out of college.
Yeah, we talking about a little bit about the draft, about the 11 through 14.
Oh yeah, you know it's funny. I talked about it last week. Not to cut you off, so I talked about it last week, and then, but I got I got stuck on the guys that's going like, I think like top 3, top. I got stuck on like a few guys. You know what it is? I got stuck on Shaden Sharp because I'm thinking more like who I want for the Knicks. I made it about me, man.
I saw the show. You started off talking about the draft and Shaden Sharp, and then you kind of just went left out after that.
Like, you know, I want y'all. Did y'all touch on the Sharp subject already?
Nah, we just started, bro. We just started.
Okay, my fault. Continue, man. My fault.
Yeah, don't say we here to reel you in a little bit when you start going left. All right.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah, man.
Can't leave you alone for one day, Culley.
And he talking about us getting Chet Holmgren. One day, yeah. Hey, but Sub, I'm with you in that range. In that range that you mentioned, bro. I'm kind of comfortable in that range. Ideally, I would love to get Benedict Mathurin.
Me too.
Right? That's who I'd like to get out of the draft. Now, you know, they say miracles happen every day. So if a miracle happens Tuesday after next, and we move up in the draft and we're able to get a Jaden Ivey, a combo guard with no clear position in the NBA, I say the Knicks have to take a chance.
You think? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, I just want to ask you. Do you think? I think he can, but do you think he could play some point guard?
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that.
Go ahead. I think he can.
Yeah. I think the reason why the Knicks miss on draft picks is because they look at when players are non-conventional. If a player is non-conventional, they're like, what do we need with a 6'1" shooting guard with limited point guard skills? I know he's a great athlete, and I know he plays at Louisville. But what do we need with that right now when we have, instead of taking Donovan Mitchell, they're like, well, we're going to take the 6'7" point guard out of France. Well, first of all, You draft a 6'7" point guard out of France and find out he's only 6'4", right? Then the guy that you passed on, Donovan Mitchell, comes into the league and uses all the other skills that he has as a 6'1", 6'2" shooting guard and dominates the league. So now it's like, yo, is that a too smooth shirt you got on?
This is one of my originals right here, the OG.
And yo, that's fire.
That's the clothing line, right?
That's fire. I ain't even noticed that. That's fire.
Notice either.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I sent you 2 of them shirts, Kelly. What you talking about?
I still got them. Like I got them right here in my dresser, like right there. I never got to look at them.
No, I'm saying I didn't notice that you had one on. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I got the joint. See, I got one. I got your joints on the bareback here. So every time I go live, you see it.
Yeah, I got
you see
mine.
it? You see the bareback there?
Yeah, you know I thought they were short sleeve. They the short sleeve sub that I got.
What's that?
The ones that I got is short sleeve, no?
Yeah, you got the short sleeve one. You got I got you the red and white one.
Yeah, it just got warm in New York.
I always got to look out for the ones that looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? That's why
I appreciate
y'all a little gift.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro, because we like them joints. Mo could be wearing them joints all the time.
Man, I mess with it, man. I mess with it.
Yeah, man. But hey, but what I was gonna say about Jaden Ivey though is we can't take the conventional approach to fixing our unconventional problems, man. Like if we think we're gonna get a 6'4" point guard blazing fast, shoot the three, lock down defense, if we think we're gonna get another Clyde Frazier in the draft, nah, bro, it ain't that type of party, bro. We gotta get the best available athletes and players, you know what I'm saying, in the draft, and then fix our systems around these young players instead of taking young players and trying to put them into these old school systems, right? Like look at our offense this year. We run an old school offense, right? Right. And then we put young guys in the offense instead of seeing what these young kids can do and fixing an offense around these young kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Sub, I didn't mean to take it there because I know you were talking about 11 through 14. Because 11 through 14, I'm comfortable with, because if we get Tari Eason, Kendall Brown, JS, Jalen Duran, any of them guys, man, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable rocking with Mark Williams, Johnny Davis, any of these dudes, man. Dyson Daniels, any of these dudes, bro.
I always forget about Johnny Davis.
Yeah, man, I'm comfortable with.
You don't like Johnny Davis, Kelly?
No, I like him. I just always forget about him. He's so smooth.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a deep draft, and one of those guys are gonna fall to us. And somebody else mentioned you mentioned Keegan Murray too.
Yeah,
D Cool is
No, one of the guys will fall to us. I hope that it's Sharp. A lot of people saying Sharp stock rose, so I don't know.
Yeah.
How much did his stock rise? I don't know. I just know he got that athleticism. But the thing is, will he transfer? He didn't play in college. You know, he transferred to the NBA. I would hope that that's a question that all other teams ask and look at. I want us to get him, man.
Right.
There's just a couple guys I'm unfamiliar with. Like I watched the high school highlights of the kid you were talking about last week. The Kentucky kid, Shaden Sharp. And that's high school tape. I mean, if I put on my high school tape too, I look like a straight hooper.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get, just different talent.
But you know what I've noticed though? I've noticed a lot of guys like when a lot of guys talk about Knicks should get this guy, they always bring up a guy that's coming from high school. I just noticed that. But I noticed one thing about the guys that come from high school. I noticed when I look at tape, like I looked at Jalen Green when he got drafted, right? I looked at him in high school. He was going at it with a guy named Kyrie Walker, right? A guy that I don't even know if he's eligible for a draft anymore. I think he might be older. He had like injuries. He had like some issues, whatever. So he was going at it with him, and he was just, they was talking junk back and forth to each other. But you know what it is? What caught me, what said that they would be somebody in the league was their competitive edge. That's what I think mattered the most. Now, where they fit in the NBA is where they fit, but the competitive edge that they have in high school, that's what makes me say, yeah, they're gonna be solid in the NBA because they have that competitive edge, that get in your face, cross you, dunk on you, And when that's what they have about him. So I'm like, okay, Jalen Green's gonna be solid in the league. And it did start to click for him, of course, to the end of the season. But that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying though. With Shaden Sharp, that was the last I seen from high school. But he has a competitive edge to him. He has a little bag.
So when is the date that they're available to start, talking to prospects and doing workouts and things like that? Do you guys know that official date of that?
Freezy knows, but I'm gonna say off the top of my head, June 23rd. Go ahead, Freezy. When is it?
No, come on, June 23rd.
You said what?
You said June 23rd.
I just in my head.
That's like 3 days before the draft.
Oh, so it's not.
Are you think it's gonna be last minute?
June 1st.
Yeah, you thinking it's like Subway, bro? This
last year. I might be thinking of last.
No, because last year it was different. The way the season ended, and then everything was kind of pushed back. So that's probably what you're going by was last year. But we're on schedule this year with how everything went.
I think they're scheduling prospects right now. I think somebody worked out for the Knicks last week. I can't remember his name.
Because I thought somebody worked out for OKC too already, and that's why I'm asking.
Really? I didn't. Okay, I didn't know because I seen. Only thing I seen today was Clippers extended Robert Covington.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, so teams are extending players now. I didn't know that. I guess. Of course he had to agree to that. He didn't want to test free agency. He likes where he's at. So, right. I didn't know that though. That teams could start extending guys. I didn't know that. So that's cool. Cool. Somebody asked you a question. Well, you got it, Freezy.
Somebody asked me a question?
Yeah.
I'm not for sure who it was that worked out though.
Oh, you're not. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what happens if we get top 4? Do you guys want the pick, or who do you want in the pick, or are you guys trading the pick?
I know who I want. I'll let you guys answer that first. Freezy said he wants Mathurin. Me? I don't. I take Mathurin.
Top four?
No, I don't want Mathurin in the top 4.
Not in the top 4. You want the best available talent.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm with Freezy on that.
Yeah.
I'll take Mathurin, but if I can get best available talent, I'll take Mathurin before I take Sharp. So if I can get best available talent, I'll take it. If not, I'll take Mathurin if he's available. If not, I'll take Sharp. That's how it goes.
Because the reason why I'm asking it speeds up the process of what the Knicks are doing. Are they developing young players? Are they bringing in vets to kind of support them? What they've been doing lately, and that kind of just speeds up the process if you trade that number 1-2 pick. But you're also passing up on talent. Everybody, all those young teams that have been in the playoffs. The Hawks, they drafted Trae Young. The Hornets, they got LaMelo Ball. The Cavs, they got Sexton and Garland, and was it
Okoro?
Okoro. Then was it Mobley too? Right? They got
Mobley. Yeah.
Mobley. So do you continue to go down that path and get those types of players and have them going along with RJ, who's the number 3 pick, or do you trade that top 4 pick and then
let me tell you. Well, let me give you my answer. You mind if I give you my answer to that?
We'll jump right into it.
All right. So here it is. I want to get the best available talent, and I'm hoping the draft plays out like this at 4. Like for me at 4, I want to see Chet go number 1 because I don't want Chet, right? Because I feel like Chet is going to be a good player. I don't know how he'll fit with the Knicks, right? And this is not an NBA thing with Chet. This is a Knicks thing with Chet, right?
Right.
All right. So at 2, I'm hoping that it's Paolo Banchero.
Okay.
Right? Because we already have a Julius Randle type player. And Banchero does all the things that he reminds me of a young, bigger in height and size Julius Randle.
All right. Can I stop you right there? I said the same thing on one of our shows. Did I not? Did I not, Tilly? Did I not do the comparison of Julius Randle and Banchero? Follow Banchero. And then I said, except the IQ, and Culley caught me on. He was like, "You dead wrong on that one because of the IQ." I said, "Except that though, Culley, except the IQ part." But go ahead, continue.
Right. Yeah. And so if you get a Paolo, then you're basically grooming a young Randall. And why groom a young Randall when you have a seasoned Randall already, right? So at 3, I don't care which player goes, whether it's Jabari or Jaden Ivey, because if somebody does something crazy and takes Jaden at 3, then we get Jabari, which you're talking about the guy. Now he's not gonna be a rim protector, right? He's not gonna just because he's tall doesn't mean he's gonna block shots and rebound and defend down there. But what he will do is lock up guys on the perimeter and stroke that thing from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be a 6'10" power forward that is a 3-and-D guy. He can switch onto some 3s, mostly 4s out there, some 5s. Miles Turner is not shooting 3s on us with Jabari Parker, not Jabari Parker, but Jabari Smith out there, right? And so
outside, right?
Yeah, and so ideally, I'd prefer to get Jaden Ivey.
So you know what? Wait, before you finish. So are you saying Jabari Smith can guard Giannis if we have to?
Nobody can guard Giannis.
Well,
but
we can
put him on Giannis.
Put him on Giannis
comfortably, right? Because the alternative is, hey, Obi, guard Giannis.
No.
What? You know what I'm saying? But Jabari, you could put Jabari on Giannis, and instead of Giannis going for 47, he might go for 31.
That's
what I'm saying? We still won't get roasted, but not as but we'll get slow roasted.
That's the whole
point. What I'm saying?
Slow them down. That's the whole point. Slow them down while our guys get into it. Okay, now go ahead.
Right. And so here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing that we don't recognize with the Knicks, right? Our front court is probably the most athletic front court in the NBA, right? Okay. Nerlens Noel is more athletic than most front court guys in the league, right?
Right.
But on our team, he looks like the least athletic. You know why?
Injury.
Because he is. Because he's not as athletic as Jericho Sims. He's not as athletic as Mitchell Robinson. And he's damn sure not as athletic as Obi Toppin, right? But most teams have big, stiff dudes that come in. They just play hard down there, right? And so with us, we are unathletic in the backcourt, right? Like Emmanuel Quickly is not going to cross somebody over and blaze to the rim and dunk on somebody's center with 2 hands. Mm-hmm. Quickly ain't doing that. Right? Grimes ain't doing that. McBride ain't doing that. Kemba Walker ain't doing that. Derrick Rose ain't doing that. Alec Burks ain't doing that. Right? And so what that does is it creates this situation where our guards never get easy baskets. Or they get easy baskets, but they don't get them. They don't get the John Morant easy baskets. They don't get the Donovan Mitchell easy baskets. They don't get the Damian Lillard easy baskets. They don't get the Jalen Green easy baskets. You know what I'm saying? And so just by adding a Jaden Ivey to our team, all of a sudden he turns the corner on the pick and roll. The big has to rush out to Jaden Ivey because if Jaden Ivey get a step on his guy, he might dunk on their whole team, right? And if he sags, you giving a NBA player an easy pull-up 10-foot jumper. Is that what you want to do? And then if they just sag and say, well, I can't let their power forwards crash the rim, he can get that all day. But if they do crash, they're like, well, they power forwards can't jump over our big guys at the rim. Well, surprise, we have an Obi Toppin. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to defend when you have athletes, bro. When you're just regular athlete, man, you have to grind through possessions. You see 10, 11 passes on a possession guys can't beat their man, so they keep passing the ball. And then next thing you know, you have a 20-foot contested jumper from Julius Randle with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Right.
So what I guess what I'm getting at is would I take Jaden if I had a choice? If I had, say, if we do manage to get in that range of, say, for instance, we pick at 11 and we were able to package, say, Jericho Sims and Miles McBride in a deal to move from 10 to 5, and Shaden Sharp, Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin are there, I think we hit the lottery. Because any of those athletes that any of those super elite athletes that we add to our backcourt only makes our backcourt better. And then that I only spoke to the pick and roll. I didn't even speak to us getting out in the open court, right? Or all those plays where you saw during the season where Evan Fournier gambled for a steal and he was a fingertip, he just deflected the ball out of bounds. Well, an athlete with the same play picks that thing off and goes the other way for a dunk. Evan Fournier deflected it out of bounds because he's not a great athlete. He's a step slower. Not saying that he's slow or Burks is slow, because the same thing happened with Burks. Not saying these guys are slow, but they're not elite athletes. It's like when it's one time, man, I ain't even gonna hold you. This team from the West Coast, that wear red and gold or whatever, they had this quarterback named Alex Smith, right? And Alex Smith dropped back the pass and he threw this out route. Right? Against the week before against a dude named Al Harris. And he was killing Al Harris on this out route, right? And so I'm like, so there was like, the 49ers are gonna come in and try to do this again this week. So the next week, he threw this out route, and before I knew it, Charles Woodson was in the end zone doing some stupid Heisman pose, right? And the reason why I bring up the example is the one week you play against an average athlete, you can get away with stuff against average athletes. Both the average athlete and the elite athlete read the same thing, tried to make the same play, right? The average athlete could not get there to deflect the pass. Charles Woodson picked the ball off twice, took it to the house against Alex Smith. And I don't even know why that team even drafted. That team never has a quarterback, bro. I don't know what's going on with them. But
I got to talk about my team like that for it. y'all ain't got a quarterback either, though.
What? I thought you liked the Seahawks, bro.
No,
you like
gang, not a gang. What you got? That's that 40 water right there, though.
But you see what I'm talking about, though. Like how, like Evan Fournier, Alec Burks deflect these passes out of bounds. But if they were more athletic, these passes go back. I'll give you another example, right? Alec Burks misses a free throw against the Phoenix Suns, right? He lets a guy out athletes him to the rebound, pushes the ball up, right? He can't find his man. He sees his man, and before he can get to the man, the guy puts up a three and wins the game, right? If Alec Burks, if that was an elite athlete, you don't see those type of plays, right? That's what I'm getting at, Culley. Like, we need some athletes in the backcourt on this team.
Yes, we need
desperately.
We need speed in the backcourt.
Yes. Yes.
Not nothing else.
I'd rather go after Jabari Smith. We need shooting.
I like him. He's an athlete too now.
He's an athlete that's probably the best shooter in the draft at 6'10". So,
is he the best? Hey, is he the best shooter you've seen in a couple years? I think he's the best shooter I've seen in a couple years, bro.
I mean, that's debatable, but just to have that conversation right there alone, at that size, he's just a mismatch on anybody.
Right.
So at least he brings shooting to the team, athleticism
and perimeter defense.
And that's what I'm saying about Jaden Ivey, though. He doesn't have that many. He doesn't have those 3-point shots. You mentioned, when you do sag off him, even if he gets to the cup and gets fouled, he's only a 74% free throw shooter. There's just too many unknowns, and he doesn't really have that many offensive skills I'm just not willing to take a chance on Jaden Ivey. I'm more like the front office. I need something for sure and set in stone what you're going to bring to the table. And I prefer shooting over Jaden Ivey. I actually prefer Johnny Davis over Jaden Ivey. He just more high IQ, just more of a team player. Just his offensive game, he is far and beyond Jaden Ivey's. Just I mentioned a joke earlier when I was on the show, Kelly. Have you ever heard the name Sidney Dean and Billy Ho? That's who Jaden Ivey and Davis remind me of.
All right, my fault.
Just pick your poison. Do you want the flashy shake and bake guy that got the handles and can get past you and get to the cup, or do you want the fundamentally sound guy who could pass, make any single pass, thread the needle, not turn the ball over, and just high IQ?
Now you talking about Jaden Ivey with the last one with the high IQ?
I was talking about Johnny Davis.
Oh,
remember when I mentioned Johnny Davis and Jaden Ivey? White man can't jump. Billy Ho and Sidney Dean. That's the comparison. What I had.
No, but see, but what's the name?
The dopest thing that comes from that movie, bro, is that song "Faking the Funk" from Main Source. But I watch the movie all the time, bro. The song "Faking the Funk" by Main Source. Yeah, man, I love it, bro. I love it. My bad, Cub.
No, you're good. No, I'll take the Johnny Davis. I'll take the Johnny Davis over
Jaden Ivey.
I'll take the Johnny Davis over Jaden Ivey. Yeah, but the only thing is with Johnny Davis, what was I gonna say? Well, he's more the smooth guy. That's the only thing. But he's more of a shooting guard. That's what I wanted to say. He's a shooting guard, though, isn't he? I mean, both of them are shooting guards. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Jaden Ivey's a shooting guard who can't shoot.
I think. Yeah, I was just about to say Johnny Davis. Right? I think Johnny Davis in that regard. I just always forget about him.
And then now we have that problem again. We have this guard. Is he a point guard? Is he a combo guard? What kind of guard? Guard is he?
He ain't gonna like Johnny Davis. I know.
So let me read his scouting thing on his scouting report. So streaky shooter, can be prone to hoisting up questionable shots, can be foul prone, not a true point guard, but is undersized to play the two, can be consistent in games. Culley, whose scouting report do you think that is?
Sounds like Jaden Ivey.
No, man, it's Donovan Mitchell.
You better be Donovan Mitchell's, and
that's Donovan Mitchell. That's what they said about Donovan Mitchell coming out of college. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what they said. I didn't watch many games with Jet. I see them drive to the paint with nobody around, and then look around and just give the rock up and pass it out instead of taking the midi right there.
Right.
I mean,
come on now. You don't have confidence in your own shot, like.
In Louisville, you didn't think he could shoot, though. That's one thing. You didn't know if he could shoot. That's one thing about him. You didn't know if he could shoot in Louisville. But I still liked him. So I peeped him before that. I peeped him before all that. I peeped him in Louisville, and I was wondering, like, yeah, this guy's available too. He's wild athletic, man. I'm like, they should get him, and then look at him now. He probably still isn't the best 3-point shooter. Wait, was he in one of the 3-point shooting contests, or am I wrong?
I don't think so.
I know he's in the dunk contest. I might have him confused with someone else. I'm sorry. I'd have still made a run at Donovan Mitchell, but I'm not going to talk about that with the Frank.
Look at DSJ though. Look at DSJ. Athletic, bouncy. No, bouncy though. He was high on the draft board, and look at him now. Like
crash.
So we could get a Jaden Ivey, and he could either be a DSJ or Donovan Mitchell. I mean, there's two sides.
Kelly, guess what Hall of Famer that I just researched, right? That had the same thing said about him coming out of college.
That way he can't shoot?
The same exact stuff. Inconsistent jumper, streaky shooter.
Kobe?
No, I'm talking about in this vein, like this type of player. Undersized point guard, a non-point guard, undersized too.
And did it say that he couldn't shoot?
Yeah.
Dwayne
Wade.
Oh.
Dwayne Wade. Yo, the comps. Yeah, now, I'm not calling Jaden Ivey Dwayne Wade. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if a guy is this good and he's undersized, I wouldn't just throw him away. Like say for instance, Sub, if we drafted him, I wouldn't say fire the front office. You feel me? Like because ideally, I think we need to add athleticism to this backcourt. That's the reason why I'm not a big fan of trying to sign the boy from Dallas.
Brunson,
yeah. We already have undersized guards that are not athletic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that he's, and when I say athletes, right, I want to establish that Ja Morant is the gold standard of athletic point guards right now. Right. So when I think athletic, I'm thinking like I'm thinking about in that type of class, like, are you comparable to a Ja? And nobody's gonna be Ja. Nobody's gonna be Ja. But what I'm saying is, are you fast? Can you break down the defense just off pure ability, like pure God-given skills? You know what I'm saying? Can you out jump such and such? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not saying that I just want a pure athlete at point. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have skills and be able to think the position too, right? But we have guys that don't have the skills, they can't think the position, and they're not athletic, not Ja Morant type, and quickly type point guards. Now, is Quickly a good player? Yes. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Type point guards out there.
Yeah. I would say, yo, the Phoenix Suns used to have this point guard, bro. Number 7. You remember number 7 for the Phoenix Suns?
How long ago?
About 25 years ago, maybe.
You talking about the point guard?
Well, yeah. not Kevin Johnson. No.
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson. Yeah.
Man, I saw Kevin Johnson dunk on Elijah one time, right?
I thought he was a shooting guard. Kevin Johnson was that guy, though, man. He was challenging anybody up there.
Yeah, KJ.
I saw Kevin Johnson come around the screen, and he yelled out, "Got him!" Right, and he went to the basket and dunked on Elijah one. He yelled out, "Got him!" before he got to the basket and dunked on Elijah one. Right. So I know everybody is not going to be Kevin Johnson, right? I know everybody is not going to be Derrick Rose, right? I know everybody's not going to be a Ja Morant, but if people are talking about moving RJ back to the 2, and Quickly is the starter at point, think about how not athletic we're going to be in the backcourt.
Yeah, I just need hoopers though. You know what I'm saying? I just need someone that could have some kind of skill set. You know, get their own bucket, pull up the midi, play some defense. His defense ain't that good either though, and he has a lot of turnovers because with that athleticism, you think that you can just be in the air like D Rose and then make that last second decision and throw the ball, and that's where you create those turnovers too. So I rather what the Knicks need is more high IQ players. And with that athleticism, it's kind of hard to have that high IQ with that athleticism because your whole life you've been able to get past everybody and jump over everybody. Where the NBA is just a different animal, and now everybody's just as athletic as you. So I'm gonna have to that reason. For that reason, I'm gonna have to pass on him.
On which guy? Ivy?
Yeah, on Ivy.
I'm in that place though. Because what it is you and I maybe have the same goal in mind, but I think we want to get there differently.
Yeah.
Because the thing with me is say if we do move up to 4, and then we do say Jabari does fall in our lap, right? Me and you will be high-fiving all night until we realize, well, what the hell are we gonna do with Obi?
Yeah, clogs up the.
Yeah, and now teams know we have to trade Randall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And see, and then the thing is, so as soon as you draft Jabari, now you have 10 players on your team 24 years old and younger.
Right.
So you gotta now you got to consolidate, right? And if you consolidate, do you really consider putting Obi in a deal for Damian Lillard if you get Jabari? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I love the thought of teams having to double team our point guard and leaving the corner three open to a guy that can shoot the three, mainly Jabari.
I'm okay with Jabari. I think I think he will find his game over the course of the season. He would get it. And he's athletic too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a decent athlete.
But that's the beauty of it, though, is that the front office has these different conversations themselves. At the end, they all have the same goal. They want to build a successful team. Have that window of opportunity, whether it's a 3-year window or it's a 10-year dynasty. So yes, you can maneuver and get a veteran like that and go that way, or you could go the way the Hawks have done it, the way the way the Cavs have done it, or you could do it the way Memphis has done it, or you could do it the way Brooklyn is doing it. But
Memphis has done it, but yeah.
Yeah, but just get rid of everybody. Bring in these three stars, and then let's see.
Memphis got the top 2 pick. That's what it was.
But that's what we're having this conversation right now. Is if we're in that top 4 pick, and then RJ's already in that top 3 pick. Now we have 2 studs, kind of like how the Celtics have Tatum, and first they had Marcus Smart. Then they brought in Brown. Then they brought in Tatum. Then they got Williams. Williams later on. So you start building your core. You start building your Batman, your Robin. Who is the next core? Who is the next young core?
Right now we have 9 young players.
No, but who's your young core? Your 1, 2, and 3 with the Knicks.
Faron Hunt. That's all.
But that's what I'm saying though. Every young team, it's a new wave that's happening right now. We need to build with the new young wave and keep up with these younger teams and get our young core. We have RJ right now. Who's going along with RJ? To me, it's IQ. They both have more of a sample size than any other young player on the team. So then you add to that in the draft, whether those people are going to be, top 4 or role players later on, and then you kind of weed them out, and see who's going to stick. Because next year we have IQ and Obi on their 3rd year, and then we have the 2023 draft, and in that 4th year you got to figure out, are you keeping them, are you cutting them,
right.
Then you bring in that new wave of young players. So you kind of just figure out who's here to stay, or do we add those guys in a package? Is Obi tradable? Do we do the same thing we did with Knox and bring in another player that has potential, like we did with Cam, and get rid of Obi or IQ? Same scenario. So we're just kind of trying to figure out who our young core is, who these guys are going to be, who the role players are going to be, and what we're bringing in. So that's where I'm one of those patient Knicks fans. That's the kind of path, the blueprint I want to follow. Is more like he mentioned. All right, get this pick, bring in a vet, so it helps. Not just a vet, a superstar vet.
Yeah, a megastar. Yeah, bring in a megastar.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just bring in Spencer Dinwiddie, bro.
Yeah, like you said, don't bring in Brunson, because you want someone who's going to get double teamed, someone who's not going to be, a liability on the defensive end, someone who could just create havoc.
I like who we have, man. I think if not, go ahead. So I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, then you're on the same timeline as me, because then Unc is kind of on a different path. But that's the beauty of it. There's no right way or wrong way, because you could do it either way, is what I'm saying. It's just that we have so many assets right now that we have those opportunities.
Right now you have 9 dudes 24 years old or younger. If you include Farron Hunt, right? And don't include Rokas Jokovitis.
Yeah.
If you include Hunt and not Jokovitis, well, you got Culley. You're not gonna be able to play all these young fellas, bro. You got to trim that number down. Ideally, you want to have 4 young core players, right? You got 2 backcourt players, 2 front court players, right? Stalwarts of your franchise. But when you got 9, and if Jokovitis come over 10, and then the draft picks 11, 12, God, come on, bro. What's this, daycare? What is this, a kindergarten field trip? I mean, come on, bro. You come on, bro. What is this, B team? I mean, man, come on, man. I mean, I like young players, bro, but come on,
man. Yeah, and I laugh at that because that's how some Knicks fans be like, play all the young players. Everybody got to play. We need 5 starting young players and 5, with the second unit. But I don't know if you caught the show last time. I was like, we're a little older where we're like, we're parents where like Tibbs is. He treats his players like his kids. Like you want to learn how to drive, warm the car up first. That's your first lesson.
Oh my God, not this again.
Yeah. I'm just saying the next one you go around the block, then the more comfortable. See, Culley don't like that because Culley ain't got no kids. So
because Culley live in a city. Culley don't have to drive, bro. He can take the bus. He can take the train.
Nah, that too. No, but see, my thing is.
Now I'm saying, Culley, you have options. That was my point. Is you have options.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you don't do it.
Yeah, no, but like with this team, I'm one of those guys that want us to play the youngins. Why? Because you play all the youngins, you'll lose games. But at the same time, they're learning. And that way, that's how you end up with a top 3 pick when you suck. Now, if they win, that's a win-win for us because it means you have young winners. And that way, then you start figuring out, okay, what veterans could I sprinkle on this team to teach them how to win? That's when you get the quality veterans. However, in this league now, the quality veterans are going to other teams. They're going to other teams. Other teams are getting them before we do because other teams have a better chance to win than us right now. Clippers, Warriors, Lakers got some veterans, Miami, Bucks, all the Sixers. Those teams got the veterans because they have the better chance to win. That's who. So you have to get who wants to. I mean, you don't get this anybody that wants to come here, but at the same time, it's a matter of who wants to come here. We're not. I don't know. That's just me. Like you play the young guys and you're gonna suck anyway. Then you get a top 3 pick because you guys don't know how to win. Youngins don't know how to win. They just out there playing. They're learning how to win.
Well, Culley, that's my point though. See, because what you see, the thing is me and you agree, me and Sub agree, right? The only thing about it is we want to take different paths. Notice how you said the young guys don't know how to win, right?
Right.
So what you do is you consolidate a handful of them to get Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard teaches them how to win, right? Yeah, because there are some young kids. So there are some young kids that ain't gonna play, bro. For instance, if you think Farron Hunt is gonna get minutes over Cam Reddish, you bugging, right?
Like him too, yeah.
Right, and I'm not no disrespect to Farron Hunt.
Yeah,
but if Farron Hunt, think about this: if Farron Hunt beats out Cam Reddish, why are you keeping Cam Reddish?
I can agree with that. Yes.
Right? That's what I'm saying. My thing is,
you might as well Damian Lillard.
Yeah. So my thing is eliminate some of the duplicity, right?
Right.
But like for instance, if the Knicks draft a wing player,
right,
that means Alec Burks. So you at the wing you're gonna have Burks, Fournier, RJ, Reddish, Grimes, and the young player, right? And the young player. And if you think Tibbs is gonna run 6 guys at 2 positions, you bugging.
If you think Tibbs is gonna do that, you drinking the wine just like me right now.
Right.
That's just too many young players that you can't play. They're gonna lose. No one's gonna step up to the plate though. You need veterans. You need veteran leaders. You need to sprinkle in a couple veteran leaders, like Unc said, to teach them because all they're gonna do is lose. All they're gonna do is learn how to lose. Nobody
Right.
wants to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? They want
Right.
to learn how to win and how to win the right way. So you got to sprinkle in the right players. Who's gonna be the vocal leader? Who's gonna be the one to close out games? Who's gonna be the one, to whatever, be a defensive specialist? Like, know your role. So you can't. I heard the morning drive that Unc had said that that Randall had too many roles. Too many roles. So
Bro,
that's the thing. So yeah, so we need each player to have different roles. You know what I'm saying? Know your role. You can't expect these young kids just go in there and just run loose. What is this, recess?
Yeah, what is that? Is this recess, bro? What is? Yeah.
So I get it though. You got to have that fine balance,
Yeah.
or else there's just going to be a lot of like fighting in the locker room, fighting on the court. No,
and
it's
a lot
not.
of bad losing,
a lot of bad losing, and a lot of finger pointing on. Yeah. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's my fault.
A lot of 20-point leads blown too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we did that because of coaching, but yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hey, sub, I knew it was. It only took 42 minutes.
I was gonna say the same thing. It only took about an hour before we got to tips.
Yeah, well, whenever y'all ready, man. Whenever y'all ready, Tibbs. Yeah, because I would also attribute that to high character guys. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But that's what we've been drafting, is nothing but high character guys.
Right.
IQ, Obi, kids that carry their Bibles.
Sims.
All them.
Yeah.
So we have to.
Guys, I can at least say the front office did a good job with the draft picks.
And that's what I'm getting at, is I don't see them, and that's why they wanted Duarte too. But it was just too much of a cost to move up in the draft. Yeah. That's why I don't see them moving up in the draft this year, because I don't see them moving up. Period, because it's just the cost is too much.
Especially on roles that do nothing spectacular. Besides be himself and just draft it at whatever draft he's going to get at number 11. I just expect him to draft at number 11. I don't expect him moving up.
No, I can see him moving back. I can see him. He moved back. He moved back last year a bunch of times. I
can see him trading number 11 to get 25 and 28. I could just see that happening. Yeah. Nothing spectacular with Mr. Rose. Nothing.
I could see him moving back, taking 11 and trading with the Grizzlies and getting 22 and 29.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because the Grizzlies. I'm sorry.
That's our hot spot. No, that's our hot spot right there. The 2025 that's the Grimes and IQ.
Right. The only thing though, sub, is who are you going to draft at 22 and 29 in the draft that doesn't have many stars, and the role players are probably 15 deep. Anybody past 16, you're getting project players. Do you really want to get? Yeah. Do you really want to get?
I can agree.
Well,
maybe Kendall Brown.
Kendall Brown. I'll take him. No, I'll take Kendall Brown.
I don't need we don't need another Obi.
Down on the board? No way.
We don't need another project Obi who's going to sit there for 2 years.
I'm sorry, Breezy. Kendall Brown is more of a 22, 29 guy that'll fall like in that range. I think he'll go first round, but in that range.
No. I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't dispute what you're saying. But what I'm saying though is so you already have 9 guys. Think about it. Now, if you trade back that and draft 2 guys, that means you have 11 guys, 24 years old and younger.
Oh, that means you get 11 guys, 20.
Yeah. So now you got to take the school bus every day to the. You know what I'm saying? Now you got 11 kids walking around with the house key around their neck and a book bag and a note for their mama.
And a curfew.
And yeah.
And a curfew.
Yeah.
Or did they completely trade out of the draft? And for that reason, I am not going to be able to join you guys on the show because I'm going to be I'm going to be breaking stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know you don't want to be part of that.
And shout out to Woodshed. Woodshed says we have 8 draft picks in the next 2 drafts. Everyone can't stay. Time to consolidate going players picks to get a stud in here. Yes. That's what I'm saying. And I know Culley hate Damian Lillard, bro. I know Culley hate Dame because Dave may want to chip. But the thing about it is you have to consider the reason why Dame has not won a chip. Is it all Dame's fault? Or did he run up against two dynasties? He ran up against two dynasties and the franchise player left while he was young. You know what I'm saying? LaMarcus Aldridge left while Dame Lillard was young, right?
The baby, yes.
Right. And at the same time, the San Antonio Spurs had a dynasty going up against the Heatles. You know, Pop Spurs against the Heatles. And then the Together Warriors came on the scene. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't blame Dame for that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't blame Dame at all. I actually want to see Dame get a ring because I like a guy that preaches loyalty, but I just want the Knicks. If the Knicks are going to trade for Dame, do it the right way. But I don't know what is the right way at this point. What is the right way for the Knicks?
He's going to cost too much, though. They're going to want draft picks and young players.
He's the best player. He's the best player the Blazers had since Aldridge and Roy and whoever else came before him.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
He's probably the best player to ever play for them. Yeah, he's better than Bill Walton. He's better than Clyde Drexler. He's better than
I can't even say who's one of the best. He's like one of the most popular guys to play him, and it's close to home for him. It's almost by Oakland. It's by Oakland, you know. So I just don't know.
Knowing that, Culley, you think they're just gonna give him away? Nah, they
don't give him away. Not that easy. They might not give him away. No, he might not be for sale. But
but who else is out there? Because you know the Knicks not getting Steph Curry. No, that's out.
You know they not. You
right.
know the Knicks getting
right. You know the Nets are not trading the Knicks Kyrie Irving. No, that's out. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know the Suns are not trading us Chris Paul. You know that's definitely out.
You know the Bucks ain't giving us Drew Holiday.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Not that anybody wanted Drew. Well, I wouldn't mind Drew Holiday.
You know, I mean, Atlanta's not giving us Trey DeBarge. You know what I'm saying? You know, Trey DeBarge is out. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're not getting John Morant. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you so either you could try to patch the problem just like you did for the last 15, 20 years. Like, hey, maybe there's a point guard in the draft. Maybe we can get somebody's backup point guard to come here and become a star. Or
go ahead. I do have that. You just gave me an idea. Go ahead.
Luka, you want us to trade for Luka Doncic?
There's been talks about what's the guy? Trey Jones from the Grizzlies.
Oh God!
Next up, John Morant.
Oh my God!
Huh?
You went from moving the needle all the way up to not even moving the needle, Culley.
At all, yeah.
that little short fella can run an offense, man. That guy can run an offense. I will say, he can run it.
That's a hard pass.
He probably would be cheap.
Because don't nobody want him.
Because don't nobody, yeah.
Yeah, but when you back up John Morant, you're forgotten, man. You're forgotten.
Okay. So what about me at 352 pounds? I come around the screen and Desmond Bain is wide open in the corner for three, and I pass the ball to Desmond Bain. Right? Okay. Does that make me the Knicks point guard of the future?
If you find him 10 times a game and you get 10 assists, yes.
No,
if you can get into the lane 50 times and get 30 assists, yes, that would make you the future. Honestly, all we need is a guy that can get into the paint. If he has a shot, that's even better. But a guy that can get into the paint and get guys open. That's all we need. We haven't got a point guard in years. We only had glimpses and sample sizes, and that's the sad part about this team. That's the very sad part about the Knicks. That we only had glimpses. We had Raymond Felton for 1 year, half a year. We traded him. We had him with Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd and him was doing their thing, and that's the best we got. I like Trey Burke too when he was here, but that's the best we got at the point guard. We never figured it out. We even had Rod Strickland years ago and never we didn't even know what to do with him.
Nah, we
got Mark Jackson, right? From Rod Strickland. Am I wrong?
Mark Jackson, fat rump, just wasn't coming to camp in shape. That's the reason why Rod Strickland beef. You know what I'm saying? Rod Strickland was like, yo, I'm ready to start. This fat boy come out of shape every year. You know what I'm saying? Fat boys stay out of shape. But Mark Jackson at the time was a better overall playmaker.
Well, he was better overall. Yeah, he was better. He was better.
Yeah,
Definitely. Way better.
He get more people involved. You know what I'm saying? He was Pat Ewing favorite because Pat was like, I know when Mark on the floor, I'm gonna get the ball.
You get the ball.
When Rod is on his floor, anybody, the open man gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And so Pat being the franchise, be like, yo, get this cat out of here, man. We need somebody who gonna get me the ball.
Right.
You know, so it is what it is, bro. Yeah. And look. Hey, Woodshed 1940 said, I'm calling Orlando and not hanging up until they agree to send Fultz, Suggs, or Cole. They not give you neither.
Fultz, so no, they're not. You see, that's another thing. Everybody has to realize teams like if teams don't complain about we have a disgruntled player here. If they don't complain, they're not for sale.
Right.
That's when we do not call them and say, oh, you want to give up this player? A lot of teams like this player, same players we like. A lot of the teams that have him already. I'm sure the Spurs like DeJounte Murray, but I'm sure a lot of people want him. Spurs like him. You think if I'm sure they would call, maybe they probably would make phone calls about him if they're ready to give him up. Maybe this free agency we'll see, but they like him. Of course, they're not gonna give him up. Give him up for who? Who could be a starting point guard for the Spurs that they have already?
Nobody, because they traded Derek White to Boston, right?
Right, and they got what's it? Petty, Josh Petty. They're not getting rid of Josh Petty. Is that his name? Is it Josh Petty? Who's the guy they drafted? I don't remember, but he's
Josh Primo.
Josh Primo. I'm sorry. He's more of a shooting guard than a point guard.
He is shooting guard. Yeah. But I understand your point though, Culley. You're right. You're right though. Like the Spurs ain't gonna give away this. Why would the Spurs give away a 25-year-old point guard on the verge of being a multiple-time All-Star?
Right. Why would you give that? He's having a good year. Don't you think the team would want him before we do? You know, we messed up. We have to play catch up with the league. Teams are not just gonna give guys up. Like teams are probably laughing at us, like, no, we ain't giving them up. Like, what you got to offer? They probably will hear us out. That's the thing people got to remember. They'll probably hear us out. Like, okay, Knicks want this guy, so who they got? It don't mean they're gonna take the deal. That's why the Knicks failed. That's why they failed multiple times. Knicks call for all these. They inquire about all these guys. They fail all the time because teams don't. They wasn't giving up the guy to begin with.
Right.
And then we find out reports later on. Oh, Knicks tried to get this guy. Yeah, they tried. They called. You know, that's about it. It wasn't nothing going to get done. The team probably didn't want to give him up anyway. They never wanted to give him up. Yeah. When Kawhi Leonard was a free agent. All right, let me not go off topic here. You guys got to get me in check again. When Kawhi Leonard was a free agent, he would have took the meeting.
He said, let me not get off topic and went right back off topic.
I just want to make that quote. Kawhi Leonard, it's not that he wasn't gonna sign here to begin with, but he would have taken a meeting to see what the Knicks had to say. You know, that's just the case. But who are we talking about again? I'm sorry. Let's get back to Earth.
No, we were talking about the Orlando point guards, right? And so here's the thing.
You know what? And that reminds me. Yeah. Okay. So Fultz might be available because of injury, but why do you want Fultz on this team? I like Fultz too. Why would you want him as the starting point guard of this team? He's younger than D Rose, and he might be
injury prone.
Yeah, he might be just as injury prone. That's the sad part. What is he, 25? He's about 25, 26.
No, Fultz is way younger than that, bro.
24, 23. I'm sorry. And I love Markelle Fultz. He might be 23, 24. Might be just as hurt as Rose. That's the sad part. Good talent. You know?
Yeah, 23. He just turned 20. He'll turn 24 May 29th.
24, okay, May 29th. Gemini like me. Okay.
Yeah. But Culley, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If we can't have the Jaden Ivey conversation, we can't have the Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs conversation.
Okay.
Right? We can't have the combo guard that's too small to be a 2, that's kind of a 1. but not really. That depends on athleticism, the elite athletic, because they're the same guy. Jalen Suggs, and Jaden Ivey are the same type of guy. Depend on athleticism to do a lot of stuff on the court, right? You know, the 6'3", 6'4" combo guard that depends on speed and athleticism. Now Suggs has a high basketball IQ, but he still can't shoot, right? And he still can't pass in the NBA yet. But he has a high basketball IQ. And
he has a negative wingspan. His wingspan is like his height.
Yeah, and so you know, to what Sub was saying, if you just need a skill guy at a position, somebody that can just a hooper at the point guard position, so to speak, then you can't really look at Fultz or Suggs. Then it's just Cole Anthony. But Cole Anthony is also in that conversation of a athlete at point that, you know, blase, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. He got some dope. I like that about him. But yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, what you would like for them to do is not have Orlando finish in the top 4 in the draft. Because if they finish in the top 4, they're going to get Jabari over us if we land in the top 4, because they already have a surplus of Jaden Ivies already. So instead of drafting a 4th Jaden Ivey, they would probably go get, you know. But then again, they also drafted Franz Wagner, who plays the same position as Jabari, and they also have the guy that keeps tearing towards ACL.
Jonathan
Isaac, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. That's what I want to ask you, Freeze. Let me ask you and Sub. Do you think that Leon Rose is under pressure to appease Tibbs this free agency? Do you think it's about getting him his quote unquote horses?
That's a great question, Culley. I wasn't prepared to answer nothing like that, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I need a few seconds to think about that.
The chat, y'all could answer that too. I feel like he is, and I feel like, but yeah, go ahead. I want y'all to answer.
No, because they got Fournier and Kemba, and they brought in Cam instead of bringing in more of his old Chicago Bulls guys.
Right.
So I think
you know what? I was listening to was I listening to Freezy this morning? Not this morning. I'm sorry, afternoon. Because I went to my school this morning. I think it might have been Eru. Okay, it might have been Eru. So I'm listening to Eru, and they was talking about Shaheen. Y'all heard of Shaheen Holloway? I know Freezy did.
Yeah, he used to be a baller back in the day. Yeah.
Seton Hall's in Jersey, right?
Right.
Okay. So anyway, he mentioned that Tibbs had this thing where he didn't want to play Cam. I mean, he didn't want to play Cam because he said he had his rotation already. Now, granted, had it been a veteran, Tibbs would have made room. He would have found time for that guy. Whoever that guy was, he would have found time for him right away. He said, "Yeah, there's a spot for you right here. Just right here. I got a spot for you right here. I'm gonna sub you in right now." So that's my thing. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. I just want to throw that out there.
Wait a minute. So so you lost me. Okay.
Yeah, no, I lost myself too. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember my point. That's my fault.
Because you asked if Leon Rose, and I'm assuming the front office also, are under pressure to bring in Tibbs type guys in the draft, right? And I think that's a great question, because last year people say that Tibbs got his guys, and McBride, Grimes, Sims, and Jokic.
Okay.
What Tibbs said last summer was he needs some 6'8" guys, some 6'8" playmaking wings. That's what he said during the summer when our season was over and he was at the NBA scouting combine. He said that in the interview with NBA.com, right?
Right. So wings and shooters, right? Wings and shooters.
Yep. He said preferably you need 6'8" guys
that can. Yeah, guys.
Yep.
He said a little bit off the dribble.
Yeah. So okay. So everybody understand where Tibbs want to go. Well, the draft comes, and the front office does the complete opposite. They get 6'4". Everybody is 6'4" and under, except Sims, who is a undersized big. at 6'9", he plays center. You know what I'm saying? So I think this year, I think they maybe address that, right? Address getting more size and athleticism to compete so that the team can compete at a higher level. But at the same time, though, if you bring in more rookies, like I've been telling Sub the whole time, bro, this is going to be like kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can only have, I mean, you like, for instance, Culley, what does Farron Hunt do?
The 3-and-D?
We're guessing 3-and-D because we hadn't seen him play significant minutes yet, right?
I don't know if what is it, G League?
No, he's just athletic. You know what I'm saying? He's a rim runner.
Hustler. Yeah, he's the hustle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have an offensive game from what I saw. Like he could jump out the gym though.
Yeah, he can jump. But he don't have hands. He don't have 0 hands and zero shot making because he got hit with some sweet passes.
I saw him catch one backwards off the rim.
In a Knicks game?
In a G League game.
I was gonna say because I was gonna say because that pass quickly threw him a pass, and he had Spalding on his chest.
He had the jitters though.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, like he wasn't ready to go out there, and he went out there and just folded under the pressure. That's what it was.
Wait, so let me cut you guys off. So now I was just thinking again. So do y'all? I meant to ask. I don't know if y'all answered. Do you think that Leon Rose is trying to appease Tibbs?
Well, you mentioned the free agency is what you said.
And free agency? Okay, I thought you said draft. I'm sorry.
Well, no, draft and free agency. Do you think he's trying to appease him?
I feel like that kind of ship has sailed because he got him what he wanted to, and OG Robin had mentioned it before, you know, with the draft picks and with free agency, they kind of wanted shooters. So I feel like they have a certain mold, like Unc had brought up, you know, we want 6'8" wings, you know, athleticism and shooting, but there's no 6'8" wings because they wanted Duarte, and then they couldn't get Duarte to, and then they wanted wanted the other guy. Who did you want, Unc? You wanted somebody
Jones.
No, the other one, Trey. He went right before us.
Trey Murphy.
Yeah. Then so he fit that profile too, and then he went right before us. So they settled for a 6'5" sniper, 6'4", 6'5" sniper that just lights out.
Grimes was on their radar too. He was.
Yeah, but they wanted the other ones first before Grimes, and then Grimes just went all out during the combine and just hit every shot. You know what I'm saying?
And the irony is that Tibbs interview that we were talking about, when he said was talking to it when he was, remember that he was on a bench in a seat by himself with the big NBA draft board background with the teams on it. He was sitting on that thing by himself, and the dude that was killing during that game that was going on in front of him was Quentin Grimes.
It was Grimes, and
you could see him go like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You can see, and so
go ahead. That makes me think something. I just want to add.
Yes, that made me think he wasn't scouting. The first person he saw, he did, no, give me him.
Like, kind of like, it makes me think that the Knicks.
I like Grimes too, by the way.
I like Grimes. Wait, you do, Freezy?
Yeah, I like Grimes.
He's not a ham sandwich anymore.
No, I like ham sandwiches, except I'm vegan.
It makes me think that the Knicks just have an old school scouting department, because that reminds me of Kevin Knox. You know?
Yep.
The Fizdale pick.
Why you draft months early? I have no idea. You know? But
I just feel like we've been through it all. You know, we've been through it all with the Scott Perry. Let's get every lottery bust and put them on the team and see if we can, you know, rejuvenate their career. We tried that. You know, now we're actually drafting well. We tried the athletic Knox, you know, someone like, nah, man, just give me somebody who has skills. Just if they're a shooter, they're a shooter. If they're a defensive specialist, they're a defensive specialist. If they get to the cup, they get to the cup, and then we get, you know, work around that. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm okay with the direction we're going in. Finally, you know, I feel like we're finally doing it the right way.
My only deal is, instead of a ham sandwich, I would love. For instance, I'll say this, and emotionally, I'm all over the place because I love Jokovitis. But with the Jokovitis pick, I would love to have taken DJ Boston or Herb Jones with the Jokovitis pick, right? And then with the Miles McBride pick, I would love to have taken, say, another 6'8" guy or the point guard out of Auburn that wound up going to Atlanta. What's the point guard?
Sharif Cooper.
Yeah.
No. I'm cool with Deuce McBride. Cool.
Because if you're gonna give me, because I like my McBride, and I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I would take them. I would prefer Herb Jones because Herb Jones is ready. Miles McBride just wasn't ready, bro. And for anybody that dispute what Herb Jones can do, watch Herb Jones and look at what Herb Jones did in the playoffs, bro. Herb Jones was ready from day one. A 6'8" small forward, good, do a Swiss Army knife, can run. Now listen, run a tiny bit of point, defend 2s, 3s, and 4s. Man, all this stuff, man. Herb Jones can do it. Oh, man.
Let me tell you something, Freezy. Let me tell you something that'll like really bother you. We could have got, if you're talking about wings, could have gotten. I'm okay. We could have gotten Grimes, McBride, Kessler Edwards, and Herb Jones, and called it a night.
Yep.
That would have been got all your wings. Now let's go to free agency and get some talent.
Culley, stop messing up my night, bro. It's my anniversary. What the hell you doing?
Because free agency is after the draft. Now let's go get the point guard. You want a point guard, or let's go get try to get. Then you try to get a DeRozan. Now you got the wings. You got wings for DeRozan that can defend around him. Now you try to get a DeRozan, and that's that.
But I called it. That's how I started off. Was in the chat during the draft last year. So around this time was when I first started listening to y'all in Blorange Tears. You know what I'm saying? When y'all had Knicks at night, and then I started listening to the morning drive because I was actually just getting back from Hawaii at that time. Around this time, around anniversary time, and then I was like, all right, what's going on over here? So I had started sliding in the chat, and I was the one that brought up Sharif Cooper. That he was shifty, you know what I'm saying, had handles and everything, and that's when you popped it up on the screen. And I had called it, if we don't pick him, I said Atlanta's going to pick him up right afterwards because he just, he has the same, ball handling skills, same frame as Ice Tray, and he could kind of learn his vision, and all you got to do is throw oops. And that's kind of, and I felt like we could have ran that with same thing with him and D Rose. Have that fast pace, get oops to Obi, and then and then it's working out.
What's Sharif Cooper?
Sharif Cooper.
Oh, you say he is similar to Trey. I found it funny how they drafted a guy just like Trey.
But I said it was gonna. I called it though. I called it Culley.
He called it. Yeah, he called it him and you and G-Man for life.
Yeah,
G-Man, I remember. You know why? Because they had. It was weird because we had the 19th pick. They had, was it 20 and 21? They had 2 picks before. They had like 2 picks with like in between us, something like that. Remember? Mm-hmm. We had 19. They had, or was it 20? And they had 19 and 21. It was something like that. It was like weird. And I'm just like, I know they're gonna go after Sharif Cooper with one of these picks. And sure enough, is that what they did? Or they drafted him? They didn't. No, Sharif Cooper went late. I'm sorry.
He went at. Yeah, he went after we picked Jokovitis and McBride.
Like in the 30s?
He kept falling.
No, he went after Culley. He went right before we picked Jericho Sims.
Yeah, he went late. And we could have had I hate to talk about it. We could have had my man Jalen Johnson. They said, "Oh, he has an attitude, he's a diva." I don't want to think of Ben Simmons when I think of Jalen Johnson, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. That's why when we say the front office nailed the draft, I'm asking guys like, really, did we really nail the draft? Because we could have had Kessler Edwards and Herb Jones.
I would have taken Kessler Edwards from Pep. Because my thing is, if the Tibbs likes wings, why you don't scout these guys out? So what is it you don't like about these guys? Like, what is it you don't like? I mean,
but he didn't make the pick though.
He didn't, but still, I mean, wings. I mean, I thought they would try to cater to him. I mean, these are good guys though. The guys we drafted are good. We drafted 4 guys. We drafted and stashed 1. So I like Sims. I have no problem with Sims at all because his 6'9" is not Obi's 6'9". You know what I mean?
It's not Ty's 6'9". Yeah.
It's not a Ty's 6'9". This is a I don't know his wingspan. I'm assuming it's a plus wingspan, but guys that are athletic, like what you just talked about, Freezy, like about 20 minutes ago, 25, when you said athleticism in the backcourt. Guys that are athletic, they tend to play bigger than what they are. Like,
right.
If you had a 6-foot point guard, he may make you think he's taller. You may think he's 6'4", 6'5",
right.
because he plays like that. He's athletic. He plays above the rim. So you would think, oh nah, he's not no 6 feet. Then when you look it up, you're like confused. So that got me confused a lot of times with many guys in the league. So Sims, I mean, but I'm okay with the Sims pick. I'm okay with a lot of our picks. But yeah, you have a point. Did we really nail when we could have got those guys? I hate to think about it because that gives you the length. And let me go off topic for 1 second. When we had Stoudemire here, right? We had 2 guys that we paired up with. Well, I'm not gonna say we paired them up because we had them on. We drafted these guys. We had Wilson Chandler and we had Gallinari. Now, people may not like them. You may say they were trash, whatever you want to say. These guys were decent defenders. They had wingspans that might have been 6'11", 7 feet. These were 6'8", 6'9". I think Gallinari's like 6'10". He's the tall guy himself. These guys, all they had to do when we had Amari and Raymond Felton, we didn't have no big. All these guys had to do was put their arms out. And they was in passing lanes and everything because they had the wingspan. This is before we traded them for Melo. They had the wingspan to get in them pass lanes because you couldn't pass around them. Wilson Chandler was a decent defender. Gallinari was too, but he was a little slow. But he was a good defender because his wingspan made up for it. He had the length. He knew how to defend. He had IQ to defend. So guys like that, like a Herb Jones, who's a dog. He's a dog. That's
Trey Murphy.
Well, I'm over Trey Murphy because we wasn't gonna get him. He just got drafted before us. But Herb
Jones, he a defender though, is what I was getting at.
I wanted Trey Murphy. That was the main guy, and it's crazy because I scouted all these guys a whole month and change before we drafted them, and I was so pissed. We only got one guy that I liked in that I wanted, and that was McBride, and then Sims. Then Grimes. Other 2 guys, I was like, okay, I'm on. I'll take them, and I actually like Sims, but yeah, Grimes was cool too, but I really wanted McBride. I was like, okay, that's one of the point guards we should get. He's a good defender. He comes around that pick and roll. He has a good mid range. He might have Kaiser Soul said McBride over Cooper. I like McBride. That's why I'm like, I'm okay with I'm okay with McBride. I don't know how you feel about him, Freezy. I think you say he's a ham sandwich, but I'm okay.
McBride? No. So just for the record, I said that McGrimes. Jesus Christ. Grimes is a decent NBA starter, 6-man type, maybe like a Kevin Martin, somebody that's and Kevin Martin was a great shooter, 3-point shooter. I think Grimes is gonna add the aspect of defense, maybe elite level defense against smaller guards, right? But Ron from Still Knicks fans kept saying that Quentin Grimes is Klay Thompson Jr. Right. And I was like, yo, stop saying that. He was like, no, man, he's Klay Thompson Jr. And I was like, nah, Grimes is a ham sandwich. And so people think that I just called him a ham sandwich unprompted. I called him a ham sandwich because this dude said Klay Thompson, he's Klay Thompson but smaller. And I was like, this dude is not Klay Thompson but smaller. Right. He is not Klay Thompson but smaller. And I'm not knocking Ron because that's my guy. I love Ron from Still Knicks fans, right? But he called him Klay Thompson Jr. So I was like, and to combat that, I was like, no, man, he ain't nothing but a ham sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And then so people took the ham sandwich part and just said that, oh, Uncle Freezy just hate the kids. Now, what I did say unprompted, and it turned out to be right, was splinters and they behind.
Yes.
Now, if anybody remember me, what I did say unprompted was splinters and they behind. And guess what Miles McBride got this year?
Splinters in your behind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I did say.
He got the bench a little somewhat.
Yeah. And so
I thought you was doing the remix, Culley.
I was.
Yeah, man.
I was. We started to get a little playtime, around Christmas. In December, it looked like both these guys were going to start getting a lot of playtime. That's when we had Protocol. We had a lot of Protocol. So I'm like, nah, this song might not be it, man. We might not be able to do it.
Dang, man, I don't see how y'all do this in 90 minutes, bro. I swear I don't know how y'all do this. Y'all show be like 90 minutes every week, right? And I'm looking at the clock now, and so we're at like 85 minutes and 40 seconds. Right. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm just not getting started. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not getting warmed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just,
me too, man. Sometimes I have to talk in a while. Sometimes somebody says something that catches my ear, and I'm like, oh, sure. Because me, you see my shows, please. I could talk forever, man. I don't know.
But you be talking about stuff though. It ain't like you just don't be talking about.
Yeah, I try to keep it because you know what? I'm so invested in this team, and I get so mad, man. I get very mad because I just want to, like you said, Freezy, we have the same common goal for this team. We may have different paths. We want to see them win. We're ready to fight. Sometimes I'll be ready to fight somebody over this. They talk about the Knicks. I don't care about, I don't mean to sound disrespectful. I don't care about LeBron, and I don't care about nobody's favorite player on another team. I want my Knicks to win. I don't give a damn about your favorite player on this team. I don't care. I don't care about Jason Tatum. I don't care about LeBron, and I'm a Melo fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about there's so many guys I can name. Levine, DeRozan. I don't care about any of those guys. I want my team to win, man. My team is no place to win it like New York. You win one in New York, it's like winning 4 where you are. It's like winning 4 in Chicago. Well, I mean, I say Chicago because they have a history of winning. But let's say like a place that never had a ring. If you win one ring in New York, that's like winning 4 in Memphis.
Culley, you know why I disagree? You know why I disagree, right?
You disagree?
Here's why I disagree. Because I never saw the Knicks win nothing.
So you never got to see him in the 70s?
So I can't do the comparison. I can't say, well, winning 1 in New York is like winning 3 in Golden State. You know why? Because Golden State won their 3, and I'm waiting on the Knicks to win their 1. You know what I'm saying? And I'm old enough. I was alive when the Knicks won their 2 championships. I was alive, but I was a shorty. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, not disparaging your point, but I would love to say one day soon be able to make that comparison. Winning 4 in New York is like winning 17 with the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do that. I would love for the Knicks to win.
Not there.
Yeah, I know. It's starting next year. I would love for the Knicks just to win 4 straight championships. I would just that would just be everything for me.
I can go on the best vacation of my life if they finally win.
I could probably go to the
and it's nice too. You should try it someday. But that's why Ugg be like, I ain't got no patience no more. Let's go get Damian Lillard.
We double park, bro. We double park, man. Because think about this, Culley. Culley and Sub, if you 30 years old or older, can you really wait 20 years for the Knicks to possibly win a chip? You know what I'm saying?
Might have kids by then finally.
Yeah. Like if you 40 right now, can you wait 20 years for the possibility of the Knicks maybe winning a chip? Or do you want to push all your chips into the middle of the table right now and just like, yo, go for broke? That way, if we don't get a chip, at least you tried. You know what I'm saying? That's where I be at sometimes, man.
But you saw all those, different timelines. You saw the timeline with Walt Frazier. You saw the timeline with Patrick Ewing. You saw the timeline in the 99 2000s with the Houstons and the Spreewells. You saw the later on with
Melo.
No, before Melo when we just had Starberry.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you saw all those times, the Melos and all that. When have you seen a time like this?
Yeah, none.
So I mean,
but does that mean you're closer to a championship though?
It means that we're finally starting off on the right stepping stone. We're finally on the first step of doing things right instead of trying to do things wrong all the time. So,
right. No, I feel you. I feel you there, but the point that I'm getting at is in previous iterations, the Knicks ran up against dynasties, bro. Like in the 70s, the Knicks couldn't beat the Celtics in the 70s. The Knicks couldn't beat the Lakers and Celtics in the 80s. The Knicks couldn't beat the Bulls in the 90s. The Knicks couldn't beat the Spurs in the 2000s. They couldn't beat the Heat, the Warriors in the 2010s, the 2020s. Now you don't know there is no dominant team right now.
So let me ask you, Freeze. I'm sorry, I just got to cut you out because I'm dying to ask because I know you guys were around. So let me ask. See, I caught on to the Knicks I became a fan in '99 because my family was a fan. So for me, it was the Spurs against the Knicks, right? That was me. So, I think Ewing was there, but he was hurt. What have you?
And old. He
had, he had the bandages around his knee. He had like multiple. So was the Spurs? What was it with that Spurs series? Were they just too damn good, or was it the Knicks wasn't ready, or what was it? Because I think the Knicks was 8th seed that made it to the finals that year, or 6th. They wasn't even supposed to make it, right?
Right, they weren't even supposed to. Nah. What it was is that team should have made it. The team should have made it. They should have been the number 1 seed in the East, right? But what happened is injuries and poor chemistry early on slowed down. That's because we lost a lot of games because we wasn't healthy and we had poor chemistry. The team just didn't gel. And towards the end of the season, the Knicks were hot as fish grease. That's why the number 1, number 2, and number 3 seeds was jockeying around because they didn't want to play the Knicks in the first round. Well, we got the Miami Heat. We wound up getting the Miami Heat in the first round. Unlucky for them.
And wasn't that when Houston was that Allen Houston?
Yeah. That's the Allen Houston shot. Yeah.
Well, when he hit that big shot.
Yeah. But teams didn't want to play us. It didn't matter who. It didn't matter which seed we got. If we'd have played the 2 seed, we'd have beat them. If we'd have played the 3 seed, we'd have beat them because we had better team, better coaching, better makeup than the 1, 2, and 3 seeds, right? But we just started off the season slow, right? And the seed then determined. It's like when the Patriots used to make the playoffs, and people were like, "Well, Peyton Manning got a better offense," and the Patriots used to just mow down everybody, right? We caught lightning in a bottle, and then plus that Miami Heat series, Jamal Mashburn couldn't hit a shot. If Jamal Mashburn could hit a shot, the outcome is not the same.
Now it was the Heat series, and then who was? Well, I don't want to keep asking who was. What was the road we went to? Was it the Hornets or the Raptors that we went to second round?
I think if my mind is right, which is never is. I think we steamrolled Atlanta, beat Indiana.
The Hawks, right?
Yeah.
The Jason Terry Hawks.
Yeah, and then by the time we got to the Spurs, we just ran out of gas because LJ was hurt, Pat was hurt, Kurt Thomas was hurt. We just had a whole bunch of guys, and then our point guard situation, we wasn't getting nothing from Chris Childs and Charlie. Yeah, we wasn't getting nothing from them.
CWC?
And Charlie Ward's cousin.
Yeah, flushing toilets on the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me ask you, Freezy, because I was a shorty when that happened. So now I understand ball better. So I feel like the only person we might have got something from was Spreewell, right? Maybe Allen Houston too. Maybe that was like the last of them, like the last of like their good years, right? Well, with the Knicks,
right?
So I remember Ewing was hurt. So do you think that Kurt Thomas and Ewing? I don't know if I think Camby was like. I think he was like on his last leg or somewhat healthy.
Now Camby was a baller during that series.
Yeah, he was balling for the Knicks. He was ready to go down any night. So
yeah.
Do you think with Kurt Thomas and Ewing, with them being like hurt, do you think they? Well, I think the answer is yes. But do you think they could have neutralized Tim Duncan and David Robinson?
Hell no.
Be careful with that Camby talk, man, because we don't want to talk about Camby being a bust on the show.
Yeah.
Camby is that guy all the way. But
yeah.
Do you think
Tim Duncan was in his bag, bro?
I mean, yeah, but David Robinson, do you think Ewing would have neutralized David Robinson at least?
No, I don't think so. No.
You don't think Ewing was that much like if healthy?
No, because even if Pat Ewing was 100% healthy, remember he was 36 years old.
Okay. We traded him after that, right?
Yeah, like 2 years after that.
2 years after, okay.
Yeah, because think about it, if Pat Ewing was 100% healthy, if right now you saying Taj is an old man, think about Pat Ewing being older than that and having more miles on his body.
Okay, G. Robinson says no too. See, I'm just asking because I was young. I didn't know. I didn't know teams how they do now with guys being hurt with age and the usage. Now I know. So now I know. Okay.
So and then plus two, it was a philosophy thing. Like Kurt Thomas and those guys didn't want to run up and down the floor. They wanted to value possessions. And then you had the Sprewell, Houston, Camby guys that wanted to zoom up and down the floor. Right. So it was like an internal philosophy thing going on too. Pat wanted to post up, catch it in the post, rock his shoulder like this, back his man down. So watch the double team come. When the double team come, fake the pass back out, get it back, reestablish, and then, you know what I'm saying, do his turnaround, fade away off the opposite shoulder. That was Pat. Camby wanted to get the rebound. Camby wanted to OB.
Camby was my era. That was me.
Yeah. Camby wanted to OB. Camby wanted you to run down fast as you can, throw that thing off the glass so he can yam it in transition.
So Freezy, let me ask, I'm not to go off topic. I'm sorry. Well, it's Knicks related. I was a shorty. What year? It's these two guys. What year was Sprewell in Houston drafted? Was it 94, 91, 92?
Sprewell was drafted 92. Houston 92. Was drafted 90. I think they would not. I think 92. I think they might have been drafted in the same draft. I'll research it though.
And Houston got drafted to the Pistons, right?
Yep.
And they wasn't okay. And they had Grant Hill at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, both those athletic freaks over there. All right, yep. I guess. So was Allen Houston? This is my last off-topic question. So was Allen Houston insurance for Was he insurance for Grant Hill?
No, they were trash, and they were just they were earning those picks.
Trash is just earning those minutes.
Yeah, they were earning those picks. Yeah,
man. Freezy, you are too funny. No, I'm just asking, man. I love the history of it, man. I love the history because I just love basketball, man. So I'm just asking. All right, thank you for answering. Freezy.
Well, tune in on Sundays at 9 a.m. on Knicks Old School.
They let me get up there. Yeah.
So Houston was drafted in 93. I'm sorry. 93, so Sprewell in 92, and Houston in 93. But in the Sprewell draft, let me see. In the Sprewell draft, we could have drafted Sprewell and we chose somebody else, I think. So we could have chose
92.
We could have chose Sprewell, but we drafted somebody named Hubert Davis.
I'm okay with Hubert Davis though. I'm okay with Hubert Davis because that that's controversy. I know this is what you talk about on freestyle, but that's a guy that could have been in when John Starks was selling. You know, that's a guy that could. And I love John Starks. John Starks is a legend. I've seen him because I've been to Freezy. You've been to Knicks games before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Right there, that Starks jersey. That's why I became a Knicks fan there.
Fire,
yeah,
bro.
A lot of people became. I love Starks. Like my brother. That's more like his lane. My brother's 41, and he loved. Like I always ask him about the Knicks. Like how was things growing up? Because New York was grittier then. So I always ask him how was things in the 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? And he always tells me about the finger roll. He was like, "Yo, New York was like depressed when they lost." But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not.
95. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't mean to go. Yeah, because that was that Houston series. I don't mean to go in the memory lane, but what was I saying? Yeah, Starks was my, and that was controversial. Who we could have had in Hubert Davis. Who he ended up going to the Wizards with Jordan.
Who?
Hubert Davis.
I think I forgot. I don't like Hubert Davis, bro. I don't like Hubert Davis or Rolando Blackman because Rolando Blackman is another dude that said, if he'd have played Game 7, we'd have won. Rolando Blackman, you a damn lie. Because listen, you saw Rolando Blackman choke in clutch moments with the Dallas Mavericks when their backcourt was him and Derek Harper. Him and Derek Harper was a all-star backcourt with the Dallas Mavericks in the 80s.
I remember.
And
I feel like they had one more. But go ahead.
And Hubert Davis was the Evan Fournier of that era. Hubert Davis wasn't no defender. Pat Riley wasn't gonna put a non-defender on the floor. Hubert Davis was so opposite of the gritty Knicks. Hubert Davis was a sweet shooter.
John, so you're right. Yep. Starks was guarding Jordan, so he deserved it. And and John Starks was what? He was drafted from where? The supermarket?
Yeah. He got cut by the Spurs. And then Larry Brown, who was coaching the Spurs at the time, had called Donnie Nelson and was like, Donnie, listen, this kid, I'm sending this kid John Starks your way. Right? This kid's got more heart than anybody in the NBA. He's 6'1.5" and saying that he's 6'5", right? And people are like 6'1.5", and he's saying he's 6'5". And so, because when I heard the story, I was like 6'1" in that. Get out of here! Don't you? If you 6'2.5", you might say I'm 6'4", right? Or if you 6'4.5", you might say you 6'6", right? But you 6'1", saying you 6'5", right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. But the thing is, Starks played that size. Like, think about a dude 6'1.5" guarding Reggie Miller, who was every bit of 6'7".
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so so what happened is he went to Golden State and made the team. He was on that Run TMC team with Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, all them boys, right? But then they cut him, right? And the Knicks signed him, gave him an invite to training camp, and the Knicks had so many guards. The Knicks had guards like Gerald Wilkins and those guys, right? And they were going to cut Starks, right? Yeah. But on the last cut day, he tried to dunk on Patrick Ewing, and both of them wound up getting hurt. And at the time, the NBA would not let you cut an injured player that got hurt while in your training camp. So that's how Starks made the team, because he dunked on Pat, wound up getting hurt. The Knicks couldn't cut him. And then later on, I think 5 games into the season, they were in Chicago, and Jordan had already gone for like 40 against all the Knicks guards, right? And the coach looks down, he's like, oh, shit, we ain't got nobody else. Starks, go in there and stop Jordan. And Starks went in there, and he reaches his hand out to Michael Jordan. He's like, hi, Mike, I'm John Starks, man, pleasure to meet you. Jordan slaps his hand and says, you call me Mr. Jordan. You are nobody. And that's a true story. You call me Mr. Jordan. I think I heard about that. You are nobody, right? And from then on, Starks snapped on all the superstars in the league. And what happened is Jordan went on to score 50, right? But at the time Starks came in the game, I think Jordan had like 44 or 45. So Starks kind of, I'm not saying he held him in check. What I'm saying is Jordan didn't score 70 with Starks in the game. And then they just started and then Starks started working his way up the depth chart until he started when Pat Riley got there. By the time Pat Riley got there, and the other thing too was Starks used to kiss up to Pat Ewing. Like in the press conferences, they were like, man, Starks, you those 5 points you scored in the fourth quarter. He'd be like, nah, Beast carried us. Beast is a Hall of Famer. Beast the best player in the league. So he was talking about Pat Ewing. You know what I'm saying? And so, whatever.
Oh, okay. Instead, thank you, Sherwin. Sherwin said, he said Allen Houston was drafted for Joe Dumars. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Joe Dumars was the old one. He was old. He was a shooting guard too. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good pick though. Allen Houston's a good pick.
Yeah.
All right. And that's who I feel like him and Grant Hill was similar, but
Culley, when you hear how we got Houston, you ain't really gonna enjoy how we got Houston.
That's what I want to know. I want to know how we. Okay, I know we got Sprewell from the Golden State trade, right? Was that a trade?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we traded Starks for Sprewell,
and that was after he choked Carlismo. That was like a resurgence for Sprewell to get his like ish together, right?
Yeah, but in '96, we were trying to sign Michael Jordan. It was all over all the papers in New York. The Knicks to sign Michael Jordan. What we were trying to do is get a Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal combination in the Garden. That's what we said. That's what we were trying to do in '96. And what happened is the Bulls wound up giving Michael Jordan like $40 million a year or something, bananas, right? And the Knicks were gonna whatever the Bulls were gonna offer, the the Dolan family was gonna pay Jordan more, right? But something happens. We don't get Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal winds up going to a West Coast team. We wind up.
Right, yeah.
We wind up, and in that draft, we were supposed to trade up to. I think we were supposed to trade up to get a point guard out of Georgia. Trying to trade up to get Marbury or something. You know what I'm saying? The New York City point guard. We don't trade up, and by not trading up, do we not get Marbury? But we also miss on Kobe Bryant, right? So we don't get Marbury in the draft. We don't get Kobe Bryant in the draft. We don't get Shaquille O'Neal in free agency. We don't get Michael Jordan in free agency. We miss on all those fronts, but we sign Allen Houston.
Okay.
So it's just like the summer of 2019. We don't get Kyrie. We don't get KD. We don't get blah, blah, blah. But we get Randall. See, it's the same exact. So that's why when Sub speak to the scenarios, bro, I've been through all these scenarios 1,000 times. Like the 1996 is just like 2019. Because think about it, in 2019, you don't get Ja, you don't get Zion, you don't get KD, you don't get Kyrie, you get RJ and Julius Randle.
Yo, that is too funny. There was too much talent in the '96 draft. That's funny.
Yeah, man. And Kobe was built for New York.
Kobe was built. He was bound to be a baller, and when he came in the league, man, he was bound to. He had that attitude. You want that attitude here, man. You know what it is? You want the attitude here in New York, but you don't want too many players with that. Like you want, if you have guys with the same attitude, you want those type of guys to get along, and that's what you had with, I guess, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley. You had guys that were dogs, but they was at the same time they knew their role, but they were dogs. Now if you have too much of those in New York, it's kind of like bad. It's kind of like bad chemistry. You have too much. You have too much guys with egos.
Right.
You need more Marcus Smarts on the team, I would say.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, I gotta get out of here because I got some stuff that I gotta do. If y'all gonna hang out, man, then y'all do y'all thing, man. But
Sub is out of here. Sub is out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of here. You know
okay.
This was fun, man.
Well,
but it's been a pleasure, though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got a chance to hop on. You know what I'm saying? Too often. So I like to say say thank you. First and foremost. And
man, maybe he'll stay. No, I'm only playing.
Yeah.
I call it
that's on you. That's on you, Kelly.
I'll pass.
That's relevant at that point, right? No, let me not say that, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Tricky Nicky, man. Shout out to Ron and Nick, by the way, and my man Ron Cleveland.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ron too, man. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. We out too, man. It was
look to the chat.
With the Knicks family, man. We on out of here, man. It was a pleasure, and y'all be easy, man. Y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for answering the question in the chat. It's a lot of stuff I forgot. So, I thank y'all for rocking with us, man. I had fun as always. Today was a blessed Thursday, and, Everybody hold their head. You know, we'll see you next week, man. Salute. You'll probably see me in some other chats in the comments. Shout out to my man Sub over there in the West Coast. And you know the drill.